Hi there, and welcome to week episode 22 of Holistic Movement with me. And I thought we'd get right into it. And we're going to start with continuing on the vein of decompressing the shoulders with Indian club movements without the Indian clubs. And then we'll get into some primal movements, animal movements, and some quad release, side bows, things like that. So why don't we stand up? And remember last week we did this one. I'm going to move back a little bit where we did that one, right? And you'll probably see that in the frame. That's okay. Okay, that was my camera. That's where I mount the camera. Remember this one? Hopefully you've been practicing this one. Okay, but I thought this week we'd do a side one. Now, let me show you the hands. The thumbs are facing each other. I'm going to bring my left foot forward, all right? And my arms are here. I'm going to relax them at first, but look at my spine. My spine is straight, even though I'm in a kind of an oblique angle here. You can probably see it from that camera angle, okay? And my left foot, my feet are about hip width, maybe a little bit wider. Feet are straight, okay? And I'm going to do that action, like that, just to this side. I'm going to swing them like a pendulum. And when I swing the arms to the left, I'm going to let this left arm fully extend. So I open up all this superficial front line here and deep front line. Okay, that's all we're doing, just to the left. And the right one, you see how my elbow bends and does that? That's all we're doing. Okay, now let's switch to the right. Same movement, but the right arm straightens up, and I'm letting the momentum of my rib cage bring my arms into traction. They're tractioning out to the side. Okay, now we're going to switch back and forth between the left and the right leg. So we're going to go to the left and then to the right. Left foot goes, right foot goes. And can you let the arms and shoulders swing upon the rib cage? But do you see how this back foot is just kind of limp there? All the weight is on the front leg. So we're not only decompressing the shoulders, but we're eccentrically loading the glutes. It's a twofer, eh? A twofer. For all my Canadian friends out there, it's a twofer. Hitting the wall there. Relaxing my jaw. Yes. This feels so good on the shoulders. Let's do one more. Okay. Let's lie on our backs. Rest here. Okay, let's bend our right knee, and we're gonna roll on over to our left-hand side. And I thought after we decompressed the shoulders with that Indian club movement, without holding Indian clubs, that we go into the deltoid diamond movement. And I did this as an individual video, posted it last week. If you haven't watched it, cool. If you have, this is just a reiteration of it. And one of the reasons that I didn't bring up in the individual video that I made last week, the motivating factor for this is I see people do this all the time, and I used to do it when I knew nothing about the body. This stretch. Please stop doing it. And you see that exasperation. I should insert the word snobbish exasperation. So whenever we do this kind of position, you're basically elongating tissues that are already elongated, folks, okay? And you're probably doing it because you feel tightness in back right here. Now, that tightness is an eccentric tightness, meaning that the tightness is elongated. The tissues are elongated in an eccentric manner. We call this locked long tissue Thomas Myers calls it. I took it from him. And the tissues are already stretched long, and that's why they're guarding and holding this tightness. Because remember, there are two types of tightness. Concentric loading, okay, compressed, locked short tissue, and then locked long tissue. Those are two types of tightness in the body. Most pain comes from elongated tightness. And so doing this just accentuates it. Maybe I'll give you a brief respite. Is that the word? Respite? Wow, I did it. From the pain. But instead, open the compressed tissue, meaning this, or diamond shape, where you're opening the compressed tissue in the front and you're strengthening the tissue in the back. Okay, so we're going to do that position, the deltoid diamond. So I'm going to lie on my back, and I'm going to make sure that I'm in the frame from up above. You see me up there? And I'm going to lie on my back. I'm going to pull the shirt up like I did in the other video, not to show you my nakedness, but to show you the position of my rib cage, okay? Hopefully the sound will be good and this mic won't move. I'm going to come down a little bit further this way, okay? And so you can see my arms. Hopefully they're in frame. I can kind of see it there in my camera. And this damn mic, sorry. So technical issues. Okay, let's try that. Now, let's show the position of the ribcage first. I'm going to bring my arms into a U shape on the floor, right? And when I inhale, the ribcage ideally should come up and flare up. And then when I exhale, you're going to push it down to the floor. And you'll see it from that camera, okay? I'm going to keep that ribcage glued. Why? Because it's the anchor, and it's going to keep the insertion points or the origin points for the muscles that need to be affected. The deltoids. Remember, there are 3 of them, and they work synergistically. We got the anterior, middle, and posterior. And I'll put a picture up there. We're trying to open the compressed anterior portion, and so then you have equal distribution between amongst the front and the posterior one, okay? And so we want to open this compressed tissue in the front and then help create more mobility in the shoulders, especially the deltoids. So then you don't have rounded shoulders, and it doesn't reverberate. Also, the pain doesn't reverberate all the way up to the neck, because sometimes you get that pain where you're just like, right up to the base of the skull. That's one of the anatomy train's connective tissue lines that is pulling because of weakness in the posterior deltoid. Okay, enough yapping. Sorry, I had to go into a little bit of an explanation, okay? I'm going to bring my arms into a U shape, okay? And sorry, this camera angle is askew, the top one. I'm going to inhale, bring the ribcage up, and then I'm going to exhale and push it down. Keep it glued there. Now, if you cannot get the back of the forearms completely on the floor, then don't bend the wrist to compensate, because then you're going to create wrist problems. So this is where I'm at, this level. I'm going to inhale up again, and I'm going to exhale. Well, let's just practice that a few times. I'm just going to push that back of the ribcage on the floor, keep it glued. And then inhale, it flares up. Exhale, push it down. And then you feel the connection of the pelvis to the ribcage. Now, when we do that, we're going to exhale, hold the exhale, and I'm going to connect the index fingers together. If you cannot connect the index fingers, where are mine? There they are. Then don't. Maybe you're just at that stage right there. Okay? And then bring them back. Inhale again. Exhale. So on the exhale, we're moving, not the inhale. And I'm going to connect those index fingers. And then exhale, come on back. Sorry, inhale, come on back. I'm holding the exhale. Sorry, I'm confusing you. Let's try this again. I'm going to inhale. Exhale, glue that back of the ribcage on the floor. Hold the exhale. You might have to hold your breath for a couple seconds. Connect those index fingers. Come on back, holding the exhale. Then inhale. Let's do a few more. Inhale and then exhale. Glue that back of the ribcage. Connect the index fingers. My left one is way tighter. Come on back. Inhale again. Exhale. Come on back. Inhale again. Let the ribcage come up. Create a gap with your lower back on the floor. Exhale. Keep that back of the ribcage glued to the floor, trying to press your forearms, the back of the forearms to the floor. Boom. And I feel that tightness in the left, restricting my left shoulder. Let's do one more. Okay. Inhale up. Exhale. Glue it. And connect those index fingers. And then come on back. Let's straighten the legs. Let's relax here. Take a few breaths here. Now, take a few breaths there and let the shoulders just drop and fall. Now, what I was going to say was, if I get some requests, maybe comments, Gene, on the video when I posted that you want to continue with this, we can try it with the legs straight, but we don't have to. We can try it again though. If anyone leaves a comment, if no one does, I leave you up to it and just keep doing this. This is a great position to keep opening up the front of the shoulders and to give a break to the pulling on the back of the shoulders. Okay? But let's rest a little bit more. Okay, let's bend our right knees. We're going to roll over to right hand side. And next position, we're going to go into how to take away pressure from the knees. And this is for Jean out there, friend of mine. Even though she's a New Yorker, I forgive her. And the knees, there are multiple reasons behind knee problems. But one of the major reasons are that the quads are so freaking compressed and strong, and they'll pull on the knees. Now, coincidentally, earlier today, I worked on actually a young kid, a 12-year-old kid who's a major pitcher here in Taiwan for one of the best elementary schools and soon to be junior high schools in the nation. And he's been having knee problems. And so I went into his quads today, and magic. This is not me, this is him. He was able to let go of control and welcome the pain, and the pain dissipated and it was gone. But in particular, I went into the vastus medialis. The vastus intermedius. And this is the deepest layer of the quads. There are 4 quads, and I'll put it up here. Okay, so there's the vastus lateralis, which is on the lateral side of your quad. There's the medialis, medial portion. There's the rectus femoris, which is the superficial one, right? And then there's the deep one, which is the intermedius. Now, I tried a few things. I thought it was coming from a few different places. Hip rotation. Anyway, I won't go into those details, but I went into the intermedius, deep into it, and it released, and then boom, it took away the pull upon the patellar ligament and the patella, and he's okay now. Now, that's not the guarantee that it won't happen again, but I taught him techniques on how to use a ball in that spot, and that's what we're going to do. So, Gene, get one of these if you haven't gotten one already. Don't use a roller. Now, I'm not saying you can't use a roller, because rollers are great, and I probably taught that before, where you can get into right below the ASIS and can release the insertion on the rectus femoris. Now, if it's that superficial, great. You did it. Wonderful. But if it's deeper and you get a roller in here, it's not releasing, then you need to go into the intermedius and use this ball. Now, this is an extremely hardcore release, and it can be extremely painful. So if it's too much for you, always pull back. You decide how much you want to give yourself. So we're going to find the intermedius first. So what you can do is, hopefully you can see from this angle. Now I'm going to engage my quad here, and you're going to engage the quad, and you're going to find a little crevasse in here. Okay, and in that crevasse, that's where you're going to place the ball. Okay, maybe you can see it a little bit better on my right one. Yeah, so there it is right there. Okay, and I'm going to place the ball right into that one. I'm going to do it on the right one. I don't have knee problems, but I guarantee you there's some tension there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the ball right in that valley there, that crevasse, I'm going to come onto my forearms. Now, maybe you see from this camera angle, my other leg is out to the side there. Okay, and I'm going to pull my shorts up so you can see it. Now, I'm going to curl the toes under my right foot because that determines how much pressure I want to give. If it's too much pressure, you can lift the quad up off of it and then gently let the quad fall, and then you determine how much pressure you want to give. Now, for me, I'm okay. I'm going to drop the foot. That way I can relax the whole leg. And I'm going to sink into that. And I would say on a pain scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 4. But I'm going to try to bring it down to a 1. So what I'm going to do is let my body fall into it. Now there's tension in my shoulders to maintain the forearms here, but I'm trying to relax my whole right hip, and I'm doing that. I'm relaxing my right butt cheek, and then my right quad, and sinking into that. Now if you want, curl the toes under, and then you can do a little bit of internal rotation or external rotation of the femur, and then internal rotation of the femur. And then if you want to bring the ball up a little bit higher, if you feel nothing there, maybe explore a little bit. The only reason you're moving the ball is to find where there's a spot that's holding tension. And then you're letting the quad fall on top of it. Imagine the ball as a hot cement on a hot summer day in New York City. And then your leg is ice cream. And it's melting on top of that. I'm melting. Okay, let's come off the ball. Curl the toes under. I'm going to take that ball away. I'm going to lie on my back and relax there. Now, if you want to get both legs, pause the video, get into the other leg. Okay? I'm going to drop this ball here. That's the first stage. Rest here for a little bit. Now, what's super important is when you release something with a ball or roller, or you have someone help you release, is that afterward you lie completely still and let the nervous system integrate that new neurological pattern. Because what you did was you created a new pattern in your body. So can you just be silent and relax and let the nervous system feel it? And if you feel a tendency to shake, please do. Now, even though for me it was just a 4, I feel a huge difference here. There's a wave of spaciousness passing over my right quad. It's wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to bend my right knee. I'm going to roll on over. Now, we're not done yet with the quads because Jean was messaging me about her knee, and I said, okay, well, one of the reasons is that your feet are pronated. You don't have much stability in your feet. That can also cause it as well, okay? We'll probably go over that in another episode, but I just want to help her release the quads. Everybody else, follow along. Sorry. Thank Jean for it. Anyway, so we got a mat here, and what we're going to do, and most people know the classic quad stretch where you just stand. I can't stand because I'm going to go out of frame. And you just hold the foot like this, right? I think I've shown it where you hold the other one, right? Hold it with the other hand. But we're going to do it now on the wall. So I'm grabbing a mat. I'm folding it a few times, but you can grab a pillow if you want to, just for the knee. And we're going to place it against the wall, okay? Then, you'll probably see from this angle, I'm going to place my knee and my lower leg against the wall. Now, you can check out my dirty feet. And if you can't get your lower leg against the wall, that's okay. Maybe you have some space between the knee and the wall. Then I'm going to bring my other foot forward. Now, some of you might not be able to get up. Maybe you'll just be here and like, oh, this is extremely painful. Then that's where you're at. And you don't want to come up higher. And maybe you can come up onto your fingertips. That's okay. If you can get this other foot up and then come up like this, and then from this camera, you'll probably be able to see that I want my foot straight, and I'm trying to bring my butt cheeks against the wall. And then place this hand here. Now, this is the classic one, and you'll see it on the net a lot. You can tighten your left butt cheek, but watch this. Let's add a little bit of spice to it. Spice is life. We're going to do a little bit of rotation. So I'm going to rotate my upper body to the left and then to the right. Okay? And that's going to pull on the lateral and medial fibers of your quads. Sorry, the quads. Then, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, going too fast. I talk pretty fast, and sometimes my actions follow suit. Do a few more there. Then, watch this. I'm going to drop my left hand and come up into some lateral flexion here, coronal movement. And then try it the other side. And just alternate back and forth here like that. Okay. I'm gonna bring this leg out, relax it here, just rest here, kind of like in a cat position. And with your eyes closed, can you feel the difference between the left quads, and the right quads? I'm pronouncing quad like a New Yorker, or maybe a Bostonite. And I wish I could do a proper Bostonite. Is that a proper, like a John F. Kennedy proper accent? Toe spacers there, gotta space them out. And then I'm coming up to the other side. Now, this side is way more accessible and way more open, and I just closed the facet joint in my spine. Yes, releasing the quads can release back pressure. It's happened hundreds of times with me working on people. I'll release the quads, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, my back just released. And I'll show you why in a second. Rotate to the left, rotate to the right. Rotate to the left, rotate to the right. Rotate to the left, rotate to the right. And then drop this left hand, come up into, ooh, yeah. And I feel that lateral side open up. Keep that right butt cheek tight. And that'll pull on the quad even more. Okay, let's come on back. Of course, you're invited to stay a little bit longer. Now, let me show you something while I'm squatting. Look at my back here. If I lean forward like this because the quads are tight and I come into flexion like this, guess what happens to the back? The facet joints of the back actually open up and then they become unstable. And so when we release the quads, I can come up and sit straighter. Yeah. Because when you lean forward like this, there's a tendency to slouch, and then there's more mechanical force on the back and a pulling on the lower back. Boom, shakalaka. Let's line our backs. Let's rest. Okay, let's bend the right knee. Let's roll on over. And I thought we'd do a primal movement. And primal movements are exactly what it sounds like, going back to our primal animalistic ways. Ah! So when we do this, I expect you to make this sound. Or you could do an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which he does in most movies, which is that at the end of it. Don't do it now. Anyway, primal movements are wonderful, mainly because, or animal positions, as they call them, are wonderful because you're engaging the whole body, and it teaches the brain how to coordinate when we used to be on all fours. I thought we'd do an easy one in the beginning. I think we've done this one before, kind of baby walking, but I'll kind of reiterate it a little bit, and I'll show you from this angle. Actually, I'll show you from this angle, from this camera angle and this one. My knees are under my hips, my hands are under my shoulders, and all we're doing is lifting our right hand and our left knee, and then dropping it. And then we're lifting our left hand and our right knee, and we're just doing that back and forth. Now, you may think, this is ridiculous. Only babies do this. Well, you'd be surprised on how uncoordinated people are and forget that we used to be very coordinated and relaxed when we moved. There's a reason why Moshe Feldenkrais studied babies, and a lot of amazing movers study the movements of babies, because babies move in a wu way, an effort without effort. That's Chinese for effort without effort, meaning they're moving in a relaxed manner, but they're using effort at the same time. And that's all we're doing. We're just baby walking. Now, if you really want to walk, just do this. Boom. So look, I'm coordinating the right hand and the left knee, left hand and the right knee. And then I look back, because babies look back. No, babies don't got back. They look back. So I look back first, go to the right, look back, go to the left. And I'm engaging the whole spinal cord. And then I go forward. Oop, and I just lost it. So right hand, left knee, left hand, right knee. Right hand, left knee, left hand, right knee. And then I push off with the right hand, bring the left hand back, left knee goes back. I look back first, and then look back the other side. And you'll find this actually extremely difficult to go backwards. Maybe I'll go out of frame. That's okay. Yep, just this. That's all we're doing. Now backwards. Look to the left, look to the right. Now, what hand do you have to push off to get to go backwards? Figure it out. Practice this one. Yep, and I just fucked it up. Okay, looking back to the left, looking back to the right, looking back to the left, looking back to the right. And guess what you have to engage to do this? The abductors, the glute med and the minimus. Yes. Try doing that much longer, in a much longer length. It's actually quite tiring. So next week we'll go into a way more difficult primal movement, baby walking, but it's animal walking. And then we'll just add another one and another one. I love primal movements. I do these at least once a week, and they're actually really tough. Okay, let's lie on our backs for a second. Okay, let's bend our right knee. Roll on over just for a tick. We're gonna come on up. I thought we'd finish with a bow, and as you're surmising, probably, you've seen it pretty much every episode. We finish with some sort of extension, and it might be boring to you, and we might be doing the same extension exercise again and again and again, but it is one of the best things you can do for your spine. Because, and I'll say this again and again and again, we're stuck in flexion, and most exercises are flexion oriented. And so whenever we can finish and get out of flexion and come into extension is amazingly good for all the compression in the front part of our bodies, okay? But with this one, I thought we'd do a side bow. If you're not able to do this, then you're not. Practice it, and then you'll be able to do it. So I'm gonna show you from, let's do, so I can see this camera up here. I'm gonna come into the regular bow from this angle. Now, hopefully my mic won't be muffed out. Did I just say muff? Yeah, sorry, muffed out. We're gonna bend our knees, okay? I'm gonna grab my ankles. If you cannot grab your ankles, grab the top of your feet. If you cannot grab your feet, grab some towels or some straps and place them around the ankles. If that hurts too much, you're not able to do that, you're just gonna lift the legs up and not grab the ankles, okay? I'm gonna grab my ankles, and I'm going to use my legs to lift my spine up and my arms up. And I shouldn't have said spine. I should have said to lift my arms up. So I'm going to come on up, and you'll probably see me from the angle up above. Hopefully I'm in frame. And I'm going to relax my shoulders for a second. But I'm going to use my legs to lift my arms up. Now you've got two possible scenarios. You can squeeze the shoulder blades towards your spine, or you can relax them. You can try both, and then I'm just going to lift on up here. I'm going to try to keep my head in a neutral position, and we're going to stay for a little bit longer. We're going to try to stay for about 30 seconds. We've probably already gone about 15. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to keep my butt tight. And hopefully you're engaging in that circumferential breathing. Okay, let's come on down. Let's rest for a second. I'm going to place my palms under my chin. I'm going to come up a little bit higher because I'm afraid I'm going to go out of frame in the camera up above. And let's rest here. Okay, now the side bow. What we're going to do is I'm going to come up even higher for the camera up above. We're going to come up into the regular bow, and then watch, I'm going to rock a little bit to the left and right, like this. And then I'm going to roll over like a turtle, except turtle is going to lie on the side. Okay? Can you see me there? Actually, let me come down a little bit because I think my head's out of frame. Okay, now I'm in frame. Now, I'm on my side. I'm on my left side. And sorry I didn't state that earlier. Okay, my fault. If you're on your right side, that's okay. I'll talk from both points of view. I'm lying on my left side. I'm going to bring my head back, or you can turn your head down towards the floor and pull on your right scalenes. If you're on the other side, turn your head down to the right. Now, my right shoulder, if I'm lying on my left side, if you're lying on your left side, you're going to bring your right leg back with your arm. So this instance, you're going to pull the leg back, and you're going to open up that right pec, and I can really feel it open up. Wonderful feeling. And I'm going to breathe into my chest here. I love this position. Let's take about 3 more breaths. Okay, now I'm going to rock on back to my belly. Let's rest here for a second. Now, stupid me, I forgot to mention that if you cannot get on your side, call somebody. Call a neighbor, husband, wife, maybe your cat can help you rock to the left and right. Now we're going to rock the other side, but I'm going to move my mic because it's going to get in the way, and I don't want it to get in the way. Where the hell am I going to put it? Let's go up here. Now, I'm going to come on up into the regular bow. I'm going to rock to the left and right like that. And then the momentum is going to help me to pull over. Okay? Can you see me there up top? And then I'm going to pull my left leg back with my left arm. Now, if you want to tighten the left butt cheek, you can. And that'll pull it back further. And my left pecs are opening up. It feels so good. I love it. Now I'm going to turn my head down towards the mic, and hopefully that's not interference of the mic. I'm going to breathe into that whilst pulling on the left leg backwards, which opens up the pecs. Okay, we're going to come on back. Yes, and now we're going to turn over. And we're going to lie on our backs. And we're going to rest because this week's episode is almost done. Now, I feel my chest. I feel spaciousness in my chest, and it feels so good. I hold so much tension. In my chest, I have since I was a kid, my insecure kiddo days when I felt like such a wimp and I had collapsed shoulders, internally rotated shoulders. I didn't feel good about myself a lot of the times. Now just, And like last week, can you be the broken branch and float down the river and let the current of the river take you where it may. See you next week.